What's happening, everyone? Ryan again with RPK Customs. I'm just making this quick video to go along with a sales post for this saber. So this will be a guide for whoever ends up purchasing this. This is a replica Graflex from the Graflex shop. It's a generation, I believe, 1.9 or generation 2. I can't really remember all the generations they've had, but I've had this for about 3-ish years now. Now, this was a blemished kit when I got it, but you can see that it looks pretty good for being a blemish. And the only thing that looks blemished to me is the stamping on the bottom just looks a little bit muddy. It just doesn't look as crisp as their standard models. But this was supposed to be in my personal collection. I never really planned on selling this, so the bottom stamping didn't really bother me at all. I just ended up getting 2 vintage Graflex units, and that brings me up to about, what was it, 5? So I'm sitting on 5 different Graflex right now, and I can't keep them all. It's just starting to get a little bit out of hand. But anyway, the grips and all the hardware are from Wanawanga. I cut and shaped the grips myself just to try to accurately replicate the uneven cuts that we see on the still photos of the actual prop. And I'm not really sure how well you can see this because I can't see. My camera mount is blocking my view of the screen. Now I've installed this with CFX. It is on a KR Eco chassis and has an 18650 removable battery. A very simple setup, nothing too fancy. So the way you want to open this to gain access to your battery and your SD card is you want to flip the lever like normal. And you actually want to remove the clamp and grip section away from the upper portion of the saber. So you can see your CFX and your, excuse me, your battery holder. And you can see I tried to keep this as clean as possible. I didn't want any exposed wires. If you look way up in there, you can see a couple wires, but the only real wires that you can see that are visible are the 2 wires that come down to the speaker here, but I have wrapped those in heat shrink, so it's not actually visible. So I will throw the battery in. Now these KR battery holders are pretty tight. So typically when I don't have a problem putting them in, but when I'm taking this out, I typically like to stick a butter knife or maybe like a thick guitar pick or something in there just to pry the battery out. So the negative side goes towards the emitter. Okay, and I will reinstall the clamp and grip. Just doing this off screen because it's a little bit easier. Can't really see the screen, like I said. All right, so there she is, all back together. Now this is a 2-button setup. Your main activation is going to be the slide tab, and the red button is the auxiliary. So now the sound venting is coming through these 4 rivets here. So it's all invisible sound venting. Everything's accurate. The 2 rivets on the bottom are just rivets to attach the D-ring, so those are not sound vents. And the sound also vents out a little bit through the holes of the clamp up here. So it's decently loud, and you can really feel the air getting pushed out of these little holes, which is kind of cool. And you can see that I've made a little shine through blade plug. This is a NeoPixel, so this blade plug does have a NeoPixel connector in the bottom of it. Let me turn this off real quick. Now, you can see that I tried to make it more or less look like a typical vintage bulb socket when the saber's off, and there's just a little ring, a little lit up ring in there. All right, so I think I'm going to turn the camera around now so that you guys can see what this looks like with a blade installed. See you in a second. All right, so I went ahead and installed the blade off camera just to save a little bit of time on the video. This is your blade plug, and you can see it just looks like a basic vintage bulb socket style blade plug. There is your NeoPixel connector on the bottom. Here it is with the blade installed. And your blade retention is going to be the glass eye thumb screw. So super simple. Let's go ahead and fire it up. My office is kind of small, so I'm trying not to hit too much in here. But at least you guys get an idea of what this looks like with a blade installed.
From one side of this galaxy to the other, I've seen a lot of strange stuff, but I've never seen anything to make me believe there's one all-powerful force controlling everything. There's no mystical energy field controls my destiny. My eyes can deceive you, don't trust them.
So, that'll give you kind of an idea of what this looks like with a blade installed. Now, like I said, this is going to be posted for sale on my Instagram and Facebook page. If you do not have a Facebook or Instagram page, you can email me at rpkcustoms@gmail.com, and I will get back to you as soon as I can. I typically check my emails like twice a day. There she is with no blade. This hilt will not come with a battery charger, or the blade. All that stuff is separate. If you've never had a CFX before, you need an 18650 lithium-ion battery that is a high drain. I believe it's the same kind of batteries that they use for those the vape canister things. I have a Keep Power in this. I think I got that on Etsy. You can also get them on the customsabershop.com. Pretty much anywhere that has lightsaber supplies, you'll be able to pick one of these up. But I think that'll about do it. If you guys have any questions, feel free to shoot me a message on Facebook or Instagram. I will be sure when I post this for sale to take high quality photos of it and get those out there. So thanks for watching, guys. May the Force be with you.